Welcome back to yet another luxury travel video, and today we're testing out the lesser known Ethiopian Airlines Business Class offering on not one, but actually two long-haul flights, both on Boeing 787-900 Dreamliners. Having flown previously on Ethiopian in economy many years ago, I must admit I didn't have high expectations, but I was ready to be shown otherwise. So stay with me while I show you that while not everything was perfect, just how surprisingly good Ethiopian business class can be, and that perhaps next time you can include it in your list of options. My flight legs are Bangkok in Thailand to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and then from Addis Ababa to Cape Town in South Africa. It's worth mentioning that I picked up these business class flights by first buying economy and later bidding on the business class seats, which I got using a nifty bidding trick that I've learned. Later, I'll share with you how I got these at rock bottom prices. But before I can start the trip in Bangkok though, I have to take a very small plane, an ATR 72-600 propeller plane, from Siem Reap in Cambodia to Bangkok Airport. This will be with the Thai airline Bangkok Airways. The airport in Siem Reap is spacious and more than adequate. However, even though it's very empty, the queue takes a very long time. Bangkok Airways staff just don't seem in a hurry today. And it's probably due to the incredible thunderstorm thundering ahead, which luckily subsides before our flight time arrives. The airport is also quite pretty with Buddha statues and decorations, since the Cambodian New Year is literally a day or so away. A quick viewing of our plane in the pouring rain and I'm ready to go. Past the ground crew for boarding and on a bus to the plane, which honestly was the shortest bus ride I've ever taken. Less than 60 seconds later, we're getting into the rear of the plane. That's almost less time than it takes to like and subscribe, so please do so now, as all my videos are 100% self-funded. The seats are very clean and feel newish in a 2-2 configuration. The flight attendants are wearing special uniforms as it's New Year in Thailand today. And soon it's time to take off, and so we buckle up. Other passengers don't seem so sure with all the rain pouring down, but the plane takes off easily with the thundering whirring of the propellers, and we have almost no turbulence until touchdown in Bangkok Airport. During the very short flight, we were even served a meal, which was not expected. There's no business class in this flight, and since the plane loads and empties from the rear, the back seats may be preferred, but as we all get into the same bus after the landing, there just really is no luxury upgrade on this flight and plane type. When our food arrived, it was meatballs and rice, rather tasty for what it's worth, a water bottle, and a chocolate cake wedge. Later this went down with a very average coffee. But interestingly, my seat companion chose a Muslim meal, but as a balding white elderly American man, he didn't appear to be Muslim. I later found out that he orders this every time just so he can be served first. What a trick! Does anyone else use this? Let me know in the comments. The weather is better in Bangkok and soon we are landing. Exiting the tiny plane got me a bump on the head or two, reminding me that in its early days while operating the Embraers, Ryanair required flight attendants to be no more than 5 feet 2 inches, 157 centimeters tall. Can you believe that? A slightly longer bus ride to the terminal and we're in. It's time to see things in Thai language and not in the Cambodian Khmer language. As mentioned, our first flight is Bangkok to Addis Ababa, and then it's Addis Ababa to Cape Town. BKK, or Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport, is undergoing renovations and expansions all over, while still functioning pretty well, I guess. It's time to head off to the business class lounge, but I'm not sure which one it is for Ethiopian Airlines here in Bangkok. A quick online search shows Star Alliance members go to the Royal Orchid Lounge. Then at the info desk, I'm told it's the Royal Silk. And when I can't find either of these lounges under these names, finally I discover elsewhere it's called the Miracle Lounge. I find that and get in. The entire lounge is quite basic. Simple cushioned seating, very slow Wi-Fi, charging ports, food and drink, but with a very basic selection. Well, there's wine and beer, no champagne. There are newspapers, a working section, chairs and tables, and so on. It's worth saying that it is certainly a good respite from the hustle and bustle outside the terminal, which is somewhat chaotic and offered very few seating options. I enjoy another coffee and some ice cream, followed by a red wine nightcap, as I need a brief nap. This lounge does have a great sleeping section, which consists of various beds and night lamps, space for suitcases and bags as well. So it's off with the 3 stripes and head down for an hour or so. One point to make is that the lounge closed at 10:30, which I did not know and suddenly am made aware of. For those staying longer in that area of the airport, you'll be relieved to know that there is another lounge across the passage open all hours. That said, there's yet another Miracle Lounge open closer to the gate in the new terminal, so I opted for that instead in order to be closer to where the airplane is going to take off. This lounge is apparently somewhat more plush and has a bigger offering of food and space, but very limited sleeping options. So it's past the automatically driven cleaning machine, more passengers, some escalators, shuttle train into the new terminal, and finally up the escalators to a barren area with a lounge in the corner. A miracle! Inside it's well decorated, food is abundant, and there's even a popcorn machine. Well, lacking popcorn. Fridges, stock drinks, beer, and lo and behold, champagne, which one has to awkwardly serve inside the fridge, but I do that. I sip a cold glass of champers as I while away the last half hour before boarding. There are also showers next to the bathrooms in this business lounge, which after Cambodia's heat still in my pores, I'm actually considering, but there just isn't time for that now. Now it's minutes to go, and I finish off with a sip of Chardonnay and get in the mood for what I hope to be at least something of a business class experience, especially after leaving Siem Reap almost 6 hours ago. From the lounge to the gate shows me again just how much Bangkok airport is actually being renovated. Once at the gate, I'm immediately in the premium business class queue, and soon it's off to the aeroplane. It's quite a long walk actually, down an escalator, and then we have to wait while apparently the last checks are done. But after that, it's off to board. I'm greeted well by the crew and shown towards my seat. I've barely arrived at the seat when I'm given an orange juice, but I did spy champagne on the way through the galley, so where's that stuff? The seat actually looks amazing, and it mirrors in some ways those of the recent Qatar flight I took, which I'll be posting soon enough. There's a lot of space, many storage compartments, a big tray table, and what looks to be a very good seat with good legroom. The cabin is split up into a 1-2-1 layout, so everyone has an aisle seat, and couples can have the middle seats with the middle seat divider open. Unless they're having an argument, then they can just close that seat divider. We're offered a wet towel, which is much appreciated after a long wait. There are numerous charging points and a plug point, as well as a screen controller in the main stowage compartment. It works so well that the compartment lid closes, but allows cables to exit under some raised button pads. So basically this allows one to close the lid and use one's device while it's still charging on the inside of the storage compartment. My passport and other valuables can easily fit in on the back side compartment, which makes it almost as good as the 3-digit code lockers on some of Qatar's business class seats. On my left, there's also a massive storage section for bottles of water, papers, books, and much more. My touch screen is working perfectly, and on the whole, the seat appears quite new. I have 2 lights and air fans above me just for myself, as well as 2 windows, also just for me. I get out my amenity kit and earphones and prepare for the comfortable ride out of Bangkok. And boy, will it be comfortable with a huge and soft blanket duvet they've given me. In addition to this, I tear open that amenity kit to see what it's got. Well, it's actually a bit bland, but it does have one of everything. A toothbrush, socks, eye shade, comb, earplugs, lip gloss, pen, wet tissue, even one of those face masks and sanitizer from ancient COVID times. With a child across the aisle from me, I asked their parents to see the children's amenity kit, which turns out to be a beautiful rucksack packed with kids' goodies to draw, play, and even a cute booklet-type passport to go and get stamped at immigration. As mentioned, the plane feels new, it's clean, and I asked the crew to find out it's only 3 years old and was delivered to Ethiopian in April 2022. With a big tray table, I'm ready to see their menu and order something weird and exotic. And here is the menu right away. So I get stuck in, because after all those years wasted at university, I think I finally found something I'll enjoy to read. Yeah, so overall, I'm impressed. But the flight hasn't actually started, so let's touch some wood and get ready to take off. Sipping some champagne whiles away the time, and I test the legroom. For me, there's more than enough for a full body stretch, and I'm pretty much 1.8 meters, 6 feet. Everything I need to fit there, well, fits. There's even a little light to see how awesome your feet are. So it's time to kick off the 3 stripes again. Soon we hear some announcements and the safety videos get rolling. Nothing interesting about those. Pretty quickly it's seatbelt time and I'm buckled in for the liftoff. Our taxi is long and I read later it clocked 21 minutes. But even so, we actually take off 3 minutes early and are in the air. It's a smooth liftoff, and I can tell you now it's even smoother in business class. Now that we're in the air, first off is, well, more reading. More reading of the menu. But seriously, I was considering changing my meal order. I've asked for the sea bass, but was considering the beefsteak because unfortunately none of the dishes are actually either Thai, from Bangkok, or Ethiopian. It's a very European or Western selection. This definitely changed on the next flight when I left Addis Ababa to go to Cape Town, but that's for the next video, so make sure to watch it. By the way, I promised earlier in the video to detail the bidding trick I used to get from economy to business for the cheapest price. Some airlines allow bidding for upgrades to make a bit more out of customers and get them into higher class options. The trick is simple. When presented with an email asking you to bid for business class, click on the link in the email and go to the airline's website. Some people will ignore the email, not wanting to spend more or not wanting to upgrade at any price. For those who do click and perhaps bid, most of them are going to bid the absolute minimum amount, which in this case was $490. The trick is to outbid those people by simply adding a tiny bit more than the minimum. I literally bid $495 and got the upgrade on both legs of the trip. Result! So, have you tried this bidding trick before? Let me know in the comments. So what's there to do now? Well, I get down to my film. But as always, I can't get very far before I'm snowed under by amazing food. The starters arrive together with wine. I'm given grilled chicken and mozzarella cheese with sun-dried tomato, as well as a fresh seasonal salad. As mentioned, all very Western and nothing Ethiopian, but the wine selection at least gives me the option to choose a glass of red wine, a Rift Valley Syrah from Ethiopia. I'm even given the chance to taste it first, which not every airline does, and it's great. Some sparkling water and seed bread later, and I'm getting stuck in while we climb to 40,000 feet. After the starter, my plates are cleared for what I chose, the grilled sea bass main meal, which comes with pasta, Tuscan vegetables, and tomato pesto sauce. Scrumptious stuff, and I'm left dazed with an empty tray table until the dessert comes, where I've chosen the plain sounding, fresh seasonal fruit selection. And I'm actually hoping to see something interesting here, but it's literally cut fruit. A nice selection though: pineapple, papaya, dragon fruit and watermelon. And at least there's more red wine. My belly full and my drink in my hand, my mind shifts to messaging a friend and making him jealous. But today is not the day for that, as the Wi-Fi, although marketed and seemingly available, doesn't work. As a business class passenger, I'm meant to have Wi-Fi throughout the flight, included for free. I get a code from the staff member, but it doesn't work, so she gets another code, which also doesn't work. They then tell me the Wi-Fi won't be working for this flight, so I'll have to get my friend to watch this video. But it's all good, because now the much mentioned coffee is here. A whole page of the menu is dedicated to describing it. And Ethiopia is well known for its coffee beans. A touch of milk, and while I'm sipping the coffee, the lights are dimmed. So it's in the darkness that I get served some chocolates, which are handed to me. Chocolates and coffee, red wine, my body needs a break. I never like to linger in the bathroom, but it's important to review and show that they are clean and spacious. But this toilet is only somewhat clean, and while it has the basics, there's nothing amazing here whatsoever. Back at my seat, and the coffee is cleared, and now it's time for some serious film watching. After my film, as you can imagine, it's been a busy day, and it's time for bed. I tap on the seat control display, and voila, my seat is flat in seconds. So I get settled in under that warm blanket duvet. I do wake up at some point and look out to see the most amazing lightning storm that I've ever seen from an airplane window in the cloud right outside the plane. Kind of eerie. After a good few hours sleep, lying flat, which again I would have loved to tell my friend about and get him jealous, I'm up, and the seat controls work perfectly to get me erect. I need to break my fast with some breakfast, and soon I'm served another coffee and a hot morning meal. My tray table is laden with a butter croissant, a fruit salad, cereal, yogurt, jam and honey, and condiments. My ordered spinach omelette is next, and it looks lovely. It really is a good breakfast, but again, nothing Ethiopian, nothing interesting, just straight Western cuisine. I'm a bit bored, so I get back on the screen for a film, and strangely at this morning moment they decide to bring me some more Treuliacht Brut champagne. I look out of the window and I can see that we've descended, so this trip is unfortunately coming to a crisp end. Announcements start to ring out loudly and my seat is back upright again, while I try and finish off my film and water. Seatbelts on, and I look across the cabin and out my window to catch the landing. The farmlands outside Addis Ababa are clearly visible, and they're a beautiful patchwork of different greens and browns. I've really enjoyed this flight, more than I thought I would. And with Ethiopian's business class being cheaper than most other airlines, I'm definitely going to keep them firmly in mind for future flights. Our 8-hour flight is coming to an end, and we've arrived 22 minutes early. We've flown 4,200 miles, around 6,750 kilometers. A short taxi and a wait until the all clear. And then it's seatbelts off, and sadly time to leave this flight. I'm feeling fresh and ready for the next luxury flight, which takes off in 3 hours from Addis Ababa to Cape Town in South Africa. It's time to find the business lounge and get something tasty, after which another long-haul flight awaits me from Addis Ababa to Cape Town. Join me for that video next to see if the Ethiopian business class was just a fluke or always this good a value for money.